Hi, I'm Rick Itzkowicz, and I am the LinkedIn guy. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the things that LinkedIn does not tell you, and you probably won't find out until it is too late. So by you being aware of what I'm about to share with you, you will be ahead of the game by knowing some of the things that probably you wouldn't find out until it was too late. So the first one is that you only have 3,000 invitations. Now, that may seem like a lot to you right now, especially if you're just getting started. But the fact is those invitations can go fast, especially if you grasp the concept of networking, especially if you start adding people that you don't really know that well. As I will share with you in the program, there are advantages to connecting with other people and building a vast network of people on LinkedIn. So you only have 3,000 invitations, and you will not know this until you've invited about 2,000 people, and that's when you will start seeing something as to how many invitations you will have left. Now, treat them as a commodity. It's a limited resource. When you finish the 3,000 invitations that you get, LinkedIn may, at their discretion, elect to give you more, but there is no guarantee that they will. So whether you end up using them or not, knowing that you have a limited supply is of importance. I didn't know this, and at some point when I was considering becoming a LinkedIn Open Networker, I was sending invitations left and right, and I was fortunate enough that I had stopped, because I would have run through my 3,000 invitations very quickly. And by the way, one of the criteria that LinkedIn uses whether to give you another batch, and by the way, if they do give you additional invitations, they usually come in batches of 500. But one of the criteria that they have is how many people, the ratio of people that you invite, and how many accept. So the way that I was going, and especially if you decide to try to become a LinkedIn Open Networker, that could be a very costly mistake if you're not aware of it. So know that you only have 3,000 invitations, and that they may or may not extend the number of invitations. Okay, similarly, you can only have 30,000 first-degree connections. Again, that may sound like, what do I care? I have 5 or 100 or 200, and I'll never reach 30,000. Well, whether you do or not, it's really not that important. It is knowing that you do have a limited amount, and believe me, I've been talking to some people on LinkedIn who have 26, 27,000 people in their networks, in their first-degree networks, and they're telling me, Rick, I never realized how valuable these become, because once you reach the 30,000, even if you want to connect with others, you won't be able to. And even if others want to connect with you, they won't be able to. So it is a limited resource, even though it is a lot, especially from where you may be standing right now. Knowing that you have a limit will at least help you with your strategy and help you planning. Again, knowing ahead of time will allow you to design a strategy to see how you will play it out. You can only join 50 groups. I cover the whole idea as to what are groups, how to use them in the LinkedIn Power system. But again, similar to some of the other limits, knowing that you can only be a member of 50 groups will help you in your strategy. And this comes into play especially as, let's say you create a group, and I talk about the advantages of doing that. So you invite people, you want them to be part of your group or of your community, and I've gotten responses because I recently created a group of people says, Rick, I'd love to, however, I've already reached my limit of 50 and I cannot join your group until I drop another one. So you in essence start going into competition for groups. And if you're just starting, you go, again, I don't see what the big deal is, but especially if you have been on LinkedIn for a while, you have been a member of groups, or you start groups, then this limit is one that you should be aware of. By the way, if you do start groups, they count against your 50 group limit. Now, one thing you ought to know, at least as of today, is that subgroups, you can also have 50 subgroups. All right, and you'll find out more about groups in the program itself. But just know that there is a limit as to how many groups you can join. This one is probably more relevant than the other three, especially if you're getting started. And that is because your account on LinkedIn can be suspended for a variety of reasons. And I will go some of the most popular, if I may use that term, but there are some of the reasons that are most likely used for accounts on LinkedIn to be suspended. Okay? Anything other than your headshot, whether you have a logo, a cartoon character, a symbol on your profile picture, like in this particular slide you're seeing, there is a logo. That person can be reported, and if they do, the LinkedIn police, so to speak, may suspend the account, and they may do so without any warning. So that's one of the things. It doesn't guarantee you will be suspended, but you could very easily. It can happen to you, and I've heard of people that this has happened to them, and then reinstating them can be a major concern, major pain, if you know what I mean. There's no guarantee they will reinstate you, and even if they do, there could be a lag time, sometimes up to 30 days. So if you're an avid LinkedIn user, that 30 days can be very costly. So be aware that your account can be suspended if you have anything other than your headshot on your profile picture. If you include information in your profile or status update which reveals your identity, such as an email address, phone number, etc., you will see here I have pointed out that this guy Jason Smith has his email address right next to his name. And the way he would do that is he would add that as his last name. So he has last name right now, Smith, comma, C-I-R, and then his email address. That is a violation of terms of LinkedIn, and they could suspend your account. Why they do that, by the way, is because they're trying to level the playing field under the search. This all has to do with search and how you appear on results. So they also don't want people to abuse the system, so to speak. So it's a good thing, but again, without them telling you, and if it is told to you, it is very buried in the terms of service that hardly anybody will read. So you're better off just on your information and your status update, just leave your phone number, email address, etc. out of it. Okay, here's a couple of other reasons why your account can be suspended. Getting the dreaded IDK messages. IDK stands for I don't know. Okay, when you send an invitation to somebody and somebody ignores the invitation, they also have the option of reporting it as spam or putting it into I don't know. Well, I don't know is not a good thing, or spam is not a good thing, because if you get 5 IDK messages, 5, LinkedIn can and will probably suspend your account, and then you will be in a position of having to explain to people, to the customer service, which may or may not work for you. So be aware of that. Asking questions in the questions and answers, promoting your products and services without disclosing this. You can promote it if you ask a question, but you must disclose it. And I put in here on the slide, is your question related to recruiting, promoting your services, or job seeking? And be sure that if you do ask a question, concern that you check that. And lastly, having too many clicks from your home page. Again, this happened when if you're trying to update the tags and do a lot of activity, LinkedIn may think that somebody has hijacked your account or they're spamming, and may suspend your account. Okay, so these are just some things that you should be aware of that will help your experience